Hey everyone, it's Gloria with Glory Bee Resale, and I'm here to do a what sold from January 19th to the 25th. And this will be on eBay, Poshmark, and Etsy. And we're going to start off with eBay, and thank goodness Poshmark picked up this week, because last week I was hating it. So anyway, that gets a little better this week. We're going to start off with eBay, and the first thing to sell was this 1940s Brickman's Inc. Boston Furniture Hardware catalog. This was an 80-page catalog, and it was a little bit roughed up, but still kind of rare. And this sold for $24.75, and the cost to me on it is about $1 or $2. The next item to sell was this 1940s again, authentic antique doctor's full prescription pad. And this was from a doctor, I think on Boylston Street or Newbury Street, Boylston Street, Boston. And from get the old phone number, Kenmore 67071. So it's kind of cool. And this sold for $12. Cost to me, I think I bought like 3 boxes of these for $10 for all of them. Next item to sell was the vintage Opal House Jungalow 3-piece twin sheet set, and this sold for $29. Cost to me on it was $4.99. Next item to sell was this vintage bird pigeon porcelain figurine, and this was probably something I shouldn't have picked up, but I did. I sold it for $25, and the cost to me on it was $8. That's a little high for something that sells only for 25, but still profitable, still 3 times. But I'm not sure how long this was listed for either. I think it's been listed a while. Next item to sell, and this was a vintage London Fog main coat, beige, and this I've had for a little bit. This was the old listing. I ended up going on AI and having them put it on a man, and it sold shortly after that, within, I'd say, a week or so. And it sold for $29, and the cost to me on it was $1. Next item to sell was this LL Bean men's deep pile fleece. And this item, I also just took down and relisted it, and it sold for $38, and the cost to me on it was $6.49. And the last item on eBay was this Carhartt charcoal gray waffled jersey, and this sold for $15, and the cost to me on it was $1. And if you wouldn't mind giving me a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Gives me an incentive to make these videos, and I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Now over to Poshmark, and the first thing to sell was this Calvin Klein lightweight packable down puffer. This sold for $37, and the cost to me on it was $6.49. Next item to sell was this vintage little hot wood shelf, and this sold for $36. Cost to me on it was $2. Next item to sell was this Milleflori paperweight, and this sold for $18. Cost to me on it was $4. Next item to sell was this vintage Sirocco wall pocket, and this sold for $29, and the cost to me on it was $4.17, which is an odd number. I don't know where I got it that it cost that. Maybe I just divided up the whole thing. That's what it come out. Anyway, next item to sell was this Everlane Renew Navy Blue Heavyweight Bomber Jacket. And I thought I'd get more from this. I bought this last year. Still have it. And, it is an XXS small though, which is a hard sell. But I thought it was a nice jacket, so I picked it up. And this year I'm happy to get rid of it for $20. Somebody offered me $20 and I took it. The cost to me on it was $6.49. And I'm happy to get my money back and just a slight profit, buy something else. Again, I think what killed this here is it's XX small, which is just a very hard item to sell. Anyway, moving on. Next items was somebody sent me an offer for I may even sent it to her, I'm not sure, for this, I can't even think of it. Two items together on Poshmark, bundle, and it was this new old stock. I don't even know that's new, but it was an old stock Gacko single plate. Let me get it. Plate cover that I put up for $18. But I feel like there was other ones of these and they weren't all that expensive. So there was this, and I only paid $1.99 for it. And then I had this sweater also. It's a peach mock neck sweater, and I gave her both of them for $22. And I was all right with that. This sweater was, I believe it was $4. So anyway, $5. I sold them for 22, and I'm happy to move on from that. Next item to sell are these vintage 60 Siamese cat salt and pepper shakers. These sold for $13. Cost to me on them was $1.98. And those didn't take very long to sell. Next item to sell is this Anthropology a Chemikin embroidered top. This sold for $29. And the cost to me on it was $5.99. It seems kind of high. Might have been a little less, but we'll keep it at that. Next item to sell was this Free People's Shoulder Illusion shirt. This sold for $14. Somebody gave me an offer of $14. Cost to me on it was $4.99. I was happy to get rid of this. It's It's been around for way too long. This was probably at the end of when Cold Shoulders were out a few years back, and, anyway, happy to see it gone. Next item and the last one on Poshmark was this vintage folk art wood chicken basket, and this sold for $20, and the cost to me on it was $2. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I'd appreciate it. I think I might have already said that, but I still would. Next item to sell over onto Etsy was this pair of Baldwin um, candle holders, and these sold for $49. Cost to me on them was $4. Next item to sell was this cast iron insurance plaque, and this sold for $179, and the cost to me on it was $7. Next item to sell was this vintage antique wooden wall shelf, and this sold for $39, and the cost to me on it was $2. Next item to sell was this gingerbread um, tea cutter wall hanging, and this sold for $22.50. Yes, we made a 10% off, and the cost to me on it was $5. I think it's set that if you have bought from me before, you get a 10% off. I don't know. You get a 10% coupon somewhere in my store, and they obviously had one, which is good. Next item to sell was this wall pocket. This sold for $35, Talavera wall pocket, and the cost to me on it was $4. Next item to sell was this vintage Dixie cup dispenser, and this was a plastic cup dispenser, and this sold for $22. Cost to me on it was $1. Next item to sell was this lovely, colorful Italian pottery box, trinket box, and this was a local pickup at a store near me, and I sold this for $37. Cost to me on it was $6. And the last item to sell was this crystal perfume bottle. And this was something I had looked at. It was also a local pickup. And I looked at it and I did not pick it up the first time I saw it. But then one of the next times, I don't know if it was one or two times later, I picked it up again and decided to buy it. Because it was $10 and I wasn't sure if I wanted to spend that much and could I make it back. But I decided to do it, and I sold it for $59, so I'm glad I did. That's a good turnaround. And again, I paid $10, so nice profit. And it had the little glass, um, I don't know what you call that, inside. You get the perfume on the end and put it on your wrist or wherever. So nice little bottle. And that was the last thing that I sold uh, for the week of January 19th to the 25th. So if you enjoyed watching, give me that like and subscribe. And if you have anything you want to share, put it in the comments. I'd happily like to add it, share it with our other watchers. and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.